René Descartes, a 17th-century French philosopher, is often referred to as the father of modern philosophy due to his groundbreaking ideas and contributions to various fields, including mathematics, science, and metaphysics. One of Descartes' most famous and enduring legacies is his method of doubt, commonly known as Cartesian doubt. Before we dive in, if you find this content valuable, please hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and leave a comment below. It truly helps us grow. Now, let's get started. Origins of Cartesian doubt. Descartes' journey into doubt began with a fundamental question: how can one attain certain and indubitable knowledge? He was deeply skeptical of relying on traditional sources of knowledge, such as sensory perception and authority, which he considered fallible. Descartes aimed to establish a firm foundation for knowledge by systematically doubting everything that could possibly be doubted. Descartes' method of doubt can be traced back to his early experiences as a thinker. He was dissatisfied with the state of philosophy in his time, which was heavily influenced by ancient and medieval thought. These philosophical traditions relied on a combination of sensory experience and authoritative texts as sources of knowledge. Descartes, however, sought a more rigorous and certain foundation for knowledge. The method of doubt. Descartes formulated his method of doubt in his seminal work, Meditations on First Philosophy, where he famously declared, "Cogito, ergo sum," or I think, therefore I am. This statement emerged as the ultimate starting point for his philosophical inquiry, as it was the one thing that could not be doubted. The act of doubting itself was proof of his existence as a thinking being. Descartes' method of doubt involved subjecting all of his beliefs to rigorous skepticism. He considered whether any belief could be absolutely certain, and if any doubt could be cast upon it, he rejected it as a source of knowledge. This process led him to systematically doubt the existence of the external world, the reliability of his senses, and even the existence of God. Doubting the external world. Descartes began his doubt by challenging the existence of the external world, questioning whether everything he perceived through his senses could be an elaborate illusion created by an evil demon. This extreme skepticism aimed to strip away any reliance on sensory experience as a source of knowledge. While this may seem hyperbolic, Descartes' purpose was to set the bar for certainty at its highest possible level. Doubting the senses. In his pursuit of certainty, Descartes also doubted the reliability of the senses. He argued that our senses can deceive us, and therefore, they should not be trusted as the foundation of knowledge. For instance, optical illusions and dreams can create vivid sensory experiences that are not grounded in reality. Descartes believed that it was possible to doubt whether anything perceived through the senses corresponded to an external reality. The hyperbolic doubt. Descartes' method of doubt extended to even the most fundamental beliefs, including the existence of God. He considered the possibility that a deceptive and malevolent demon could be manipulating his thoughts and perceptions, casting doubt on the existence of a benevolent deity. By subjecting even the existence of God to doubt, Descartes demonstrated the extent of his commitment to radical skepticism. Cogito, ergo sum. Amidst this sea of doubt, Descartes discovered his first indubitable truth: cogito, ergo sum, or I think, therefore I am. While he could doubt everything else, including the external world and the existence of God, he could not doubt the existence of his thinking self. The act of doubt itself presupposed a thinking subject. Thus, Descartes found a foundational point upon which to build his system of knowledge. Rebuilding certainty. Having established the certainty of his own existence as a thinking being, Descartes sought to rebuild his system of knowledge on this secure foundation. He argued that if he existed as a thinking being, then there must be a benevolent God who would not deceive him systematically. This provided a basis for trusting clear and distinct ideas that were perceived by the mind, as Descartes believed that God would not allow him to be deceived about these ideas. Clear and distinct ideas. Descartes categorized ideas into two types: clear and distinct, and confused and obscure. Clear and distinct ideas, according to Descartes, were those that were immediately and intuitively apprehended by the mind. These ideas were considered reliable and trustworthy. In contrast, confused and obscure ideas were those that were unclear or uncertain, often stemming from the senses or the imagination. Descartes argued that clear and distinct ideas were a reliable source of knowledge because they were not susceptible to doubt. If a proposition could be clearly and distinctly perceived by the mind, then it was certain. This principle became the basis for his epistemological framework. Mathematics and certainty. Descartes' trust in clear and distinct ideas was particularly evident in his work on mathematics. He believed that mathematical truths were the paradigm of certainty because they could be apprehended with absolute clarity and distinctness. This led him to develop a mathematical method of reasoning that he applied not only to mathematics, but also to philosophy and science. Descartes' contributions to mathematics include the development of Cartesian coordinates and the foundation of analytical geometry, which had a profound impact on the fields of mathematics and physics. His mathematical approach to philosophy aimed to achieve the same level of certainty and rigor in other areas of knowledge. The legacy of Cartesian doubt. Descartes' method of doubt and his emphasis on the pursuit of certain knowledge had a profound and lasting impact on the development of modern philosophy. Several key aspects of his legacy are worth noting. 1. Epistemological foundationalism. Descartes' insistence on establishing a secure foundation for knowledge laid the groundwork for epistemological foundationalism. This approach asserts that certain beliefs or truths serve as foundational points upon which the entire edifice of knowledge is built. 2. Subjectivity and self. Descartes' focus on the thinking self as the indubitable foundation of knowledge emphasized the importance of subjectivity in philosophy. This emphasis on the individual thinker's perspective contributed to the development of modern subjectivism and introspection in philosophy. 3. Rationalism versus empiricism. Descartes' emphasis on the mind's capacity for clear and distinct ideas placed him firmly in the rationalist camp of philosophy, which held that reason and innate ideas were primary sources of knowledge. This set the stage for the rationalist-empiricist debate that would dominate early modern philosophy. 4. Methodical doubt. Descartes' method of doubt, with its systematic and radical skepticism, served as a model for philosophical inquiry. It encouraged philosophers to critically examine their beliefs and seek indubitable foundations for knowledge. Critiques and challenges. While Cartesian doubt had a significant impact on the history of philosophy, it also faced criticism and challenges from various quarters. Some of the notable critiques include: 1. The problem of solipsism. Descartes' method of doubt led to the realization of the thinking self as the one indubitable truth. However, this raised the problem of solipsism, the view that only one's own mind can be truly known to exist. Critics argued that Descartes' method seemed to isolate the individual thinker from any meaningful interaction with the external world and other minds. 2. Empiricist rejections. Empiricist philosophers, such as John Locke, George Berkeley, and David Hume, challenged Descartes' rationalist approach. They argued that sensory experience and empirical evidence should be the foundation of knowledge, rather than innate ideas and clear and distinct perceptions. This marked the beginning of the rationalism-empiricism debate in philosophy. 3. The role of intuition. Descartes' reliance on intuition to identify clear and distinct ideas faced criticism. Critics questioned whether intuition could truly provide indubitable knowledge or if it was subject to biases and errors. 4. The Cartesian circle. Some philosophers raised the Cartesian circle problem, which questions Descartes' reliance on a benevolent God to guarantee the reliability of clear and distinct ideas. Critics argued that Descartes' proof of God's existence itself relied on clear and distinct ideas, creating a circular argument. In conclusion, Cartesian doubt, as formulated by René Descartes, has had a profound and lasting impact on the field of philosophy. It introduced a methodical approach to doubt and inquiry that sought to establish certain and indubitable foundations for knowledge. Descartes' emphasis on the thinking self, clear and distinct ideas, and the role of reason in epistemology influenced subsequent philosophical thought and laid the groundwork for the rationalism-empiricism debate.